The story opens with Lok connecting to Awa in a dream. He and Nadium are flying on Ikran through the vast horizons of Pandora, challenging each other and having fun. As they land and just as Lok is about to wake, Nadium asks how he died. Lok recounts the entire story, confessing that he was shot and believing it was his fault. Nate assures him it wasn't his fault and hugs his brother. Lok wakes up filled with guilt over Nadium's lost life. Meanwhile, on the shores, Kiri and Spider sit together. Spider wishes he could connect to Awa. Natiri continues to grieve deeply for Nate while Jake goes silent, burying himself in work to avoid his dark thoughts. He gathers guns from the sunken RDA ship. Lok and Syria also dive to retrieve weapons from the wreck. When they return with the guns and ammunition, the Met-Kaina people are surprised. Tanawari tells Jake that this is not the Na-6 way. Rono insists that Jake should be with his wife during this time, stating that the Great Mother Awa will provide for them, not these machines. Jake explains that the Sky People will return with even more ships and they cannot survive with just spears and arrows. He declares he will never be Taruk Makto again, but is determined to take revenge. Elsewhere, Quaritch and his squad continue searching for the Na-6. Quaritch asks the commander Ardmore for a ship, but she refuses, noting that he left the last one at the bottom of the ocean. Back at the village, Loy believes he's the one disrupting the family, but notes that they don't talk about it. Jake gives Nati a modified bow so she doesn't have to use her own. But Nati is disturbed. She doesn't feel Jake's reliance on weapons is right. She asks where Awa was when their son was killed. Natiri cries that she is not in her forest. Her father's bow was lost and now she only has faith in Awa. Jake comforts her, promising he loves her until the end. Lok introduces Spider and the others to Pyakon, who is now part of the Tokkon pods again. As they swim, Spider's mask malfunctions while the others search for a spare mask. Lok finds one, allowing Spider to breathe again. Natiri still keeps her distance from Spider. Horns blow as Syria arrives to announce the arrival of the Wind Traders. They all go to see large flying objects arriving with supplies for the Metkina. Jake and the T decide that Spider must go back to the Sky People because he wouldn't survive another mask malfunction. Spider and the children beg for him to stay, arguing he is part of the family, but Jake insists it is too dangerous. The children oppose their parents, so Jake and the Tyr come up with a compromise. The whole family will escort Spider to drop him off, making it an adventure. The leader of the trader, Pack, is unhappy because Jake has already attracted trouble, but Jake assures him he will protect them with the guns. As the ships depart, Lok, Kiri, and Spider wave goodbye to the villagers. During the journey, Lok senses Natum riding his Ikarin alongside him. At the RDA base, Quaritch receives intel about flying objects nearby with Jake and his children on board. As the traders pass through a narrow passage, Spider's mask issues a warning about remaining battery time. Suddenly, Nati spots an alarm. The Ash People, the Manuan clan, are approaching. The traders try to attack the invaders. Lok grabs his gun, but realizes he forgot his handheld radio. He tries to retrieve it, but it is destroyed in a fire. Disobeying Jake's orders, Lok engages the Ash People. His Ikron is hit by an arrow, and he falls, barely surviving. On the ship, everyone tries to extinguish the fires. An Ash warrior tries to kill Kiri and Tuck, but Spider saves them with a bow and arrow. Jake fights the Ash People. Their leader, Varen, sees him and attacks with a firebomb, causing a massive explosion on the ship. Jake slides down, barely holding on to a rope. Nairi engages in a brutal fight with Varen. She is hit by an arrow, but continues fighting fiercely until the balloon on top of the ship catches fire. Kiri, Spider, and Tuck escape on an Ekron. Jake's Ekron saves him, but Nati is hit again and falls into the dense forest. The trader ship collapses and shatters. Kiri and the others are hit and also crash into the forest. Spider tells Locke he left his backup mask batteries on the ship. As they move, they see the Ash People assaulting their own kind. Locke hesitates to shoot Vong, but he is spotted. A chase begins through the forest. Luak eventually pulls the trigger, killing the pursuers. Varong later notices the bullet marks on her soldiers' bodies. Quaritch arrives on the scene. The Ash People chase Kiri and the others to a stream. They jump in, but the current is strong. Meanwhile, Jake searches the wreckage for Natiri among the dead. Natiri's Icron wakes up upon hearing Jake's voice and she is found alive. Locke and the group reach ashore. Spider's battery is at 3% and they have no way to contact Jake. Locke decides to return to the destroyed ship. Suddenly, Jake is surrounded and attacked by Quaritch. Jake is shocked to see him alive. Natiri manages to get on her Icron and fly. Quaritch finds Spider's spare mask and realizes the children are in danger. Jake, realizing he has no time, tells Quaritch the kids are in danger from the Ash people. Quaritch demands Jake lead the way. Spider collapses, unable to breathe. As his battery dies, Kiri zones out and sees a creature. She instructs Locke to place Spider on the roots and shoves a piece of the creature into Spider's mouth. The roots illuminate and crawl into Spider's body. Kiri uses her powers and the Great Mother's energy to encase Spider in a web of roots. This takes a toll on Kir's body. They think Spider is dead, but his finger moves. Spider wakes up able to breathe Pandora's air without a mask. He is overjoyed to be like the Nausicaa. Suddenly, Ash people surround them. Varong is surprised to see a human with a machine gun. Just as Varong is about to slit Spider's throat, Quaritch frees Jake, gives him a knife, and sneaks behind them. Varong asks Locke how the gun works. When he refuses to speak, Jake attacks. Quaritch captures Varong. However, as they try to leave, Vang grabs Quick's tail and crushes his Tyloo, the neural Q, causing immense pain. They are recaptured. Varong asks Quaritch again to demonstrate the guns. He teaches her, and she is impressed, stating she doesn't need him anymore. Natiri arrives where she was taken for treatment. The Ash people rejoice and dance while Jake and the others are tied up. Kiri uses her powers to connect to roots, causing a giant spiky flower to attack the guards. Locke grabs a knife while the Ash people are distracted dancing. Jake, Quaritch, and the group travel through the water and dense forest. While they rest, Jake tries to tell Quaritch that this world is beyond imagination using Spider and Curious as proof. Quaritch insists he remembers who he works for even in a new body. The next day, Nausicaa people approach. Turns out to be their own allies. Quaritch runs away. Natiri is relieved to see the family safe, though the Nausicaa are shocked to see Spider breathing without a mask. Quaritch returns to the city, Bridgehead. He tells the scientists to find the boy Spider, believing he is key to humans living on Pandora without masks. Dr. Norm tells Jake that mycelia took over Spider's body, changing him at a cellular level. Later, Kiri goes to the spirit tree. She confronts the Great Mother, asking why she didn't save Spider, claiming she had to do it herself. A bright light appears and Kiri has a seizure. Jake and Natiri decide to tell Kiri the truth. She has no father. When Grace was pregnant, Norm did a test revealing a pathogenic birth identical to the Avatar. She learns it was the Great Mother's will. A seed was planted, making her the daughter of Awa. Norm warns Kiri to stop connecting to the Great Mother underwater or she will die. Natiri suggests killing Spider if he is too dangerous, but Jake refuses, determined to save him. Meanwhile, Mike and Ian continue hunting Tulkun for Amriat. Back at the Meta Village, Tanawari discusses the hunting. Natiri is now able to use a bow despite her injuries. Rono questions how Kiri can do things even Tai cannot. The council decides to exile Payakan for breaking Tulkun rules, killing people on the ship. He must be sent far away. Payakan leaves, saying he will not hear his song again. Locke tries to defend Payakan, claiming he is a warrior who saved lives, but no one listens. Jake drags Locke away. In the heat of the moment, Jake blames Locke's disobedience for Nidam's death. Locke is devastated and leaves. Natiri tells Jake to speak to him, but Jake says he has no words. Natiri admits she would kill Spider to save her family. Jake tells her to stop hating. She says she hates their minds. Jake counters that he is human inside, so she must hate him too, and that her children make mistakes because they are human inside. Nati leaves. Later, Jake comforts her, admitting he spoke in anger. Lack sits alone with a gun, contemplating violence, but stops. Kiri and Soraya comfort him, telling him they need him. Loke and Soraya build a new bow. Kiri teaches Spider how to connect with animals. Quaritch attacks other Nausicaa clans to find Spider. He eventually approaches the Ash people again with a bag of guns. He is captured and taken to Vang. He offers her unlimited weapons. To impress her, he signals a sniper to kill a man. Vang takes him to a hut filled with dark magical objects. She blows a powder into his nose, causing hallucinations. Vang reveals her backstory. A fire burned their forest and took everything. Her people starved, and Awa did not come. She learned fire magic and declares she is now the fire herself. She calls Awa a weak mother of weak children. Quaritch tells her that humans are here to help her and offers equals weapons to spread her fire and kill Awa. They form an alliance. Tolkien's arrive to bond with Awa. Natiri practices tirelessly. Soraya tells Lok that her spirit sister heard Payakan's faint song heading toward his birth clan. Lok gifts Nati the repaired bow. He then leaves to find Payakan. Tanawari stops Jake from chasing him, saying Lok has the strength of his ancestors. Lok travels through high waves believing Payakan is returning to his original home. Meanwhile, Spider wonders if Natiri would love him if he were blue. Kiri kisses him, saying he is perfect. Suddenly, ash people surround them. Spider hides Kiri and surrenders himself to save her. He is caught by Quaritch. Kiri watches them leave. The Sky People arrive with a massive fleet. Kiri tells Jake that they took Spider. Quaritch hands Spider over to the soldiers and heads to the Nausic's village. Quaritch and Vang reach the shore. Jake orders Nati to take the children and leave, but she refuses. Quaritch threatens to burn the village. Jake offers himself in exchange for the ville's safety. Quaritch agrees, taking Jake and leaving the villagers unharmed. Quaritch and Vang return to Bridgehead City. The commander orders the death of all Nausics, but she cannot kill them yet as they have leverage. Jake and Spider are imprisoned. Scientists test Spider, who is desperate to escape. Lok is attacked by a swarm of Akula. He hides in a tight space, fighting them off with a spear. Just as he is about to die, a token arrives and saves him. Lok finds Payakan, who reveals his clan has only one wounded survivor left. At the base, Quaritch visits Spider, thanking him for saving his life at the shipwreck. He gives a speech about Spider having lion's guts and gives him his dog tags or chain before leaving. The commander and Mike plan a mass attack on the Tolkien gathering. Ian tries to stop them but fails. Jake is displayed in a glass cage. Quaritch visits him, but Jake tells him to let go, that the real Quaritch is dead, and encourages him to experience the world. Natiri accepts the weapons made by Jake. Spider manages to open a ventilation door. Natiri ambushes two ash soldiers, steals their clothes, and infiltrates the city. Ian enters a machine to sabotage the operation. Natiri attacks Vang, demanding to know where Jake is. Vang escapes, and Quaritch attacks Natiri. She escapes on her Ekron and shoots a bomb into a plant, causing a massive explosion throughout the city. Natiri uses the distraction to operate a large machine, breaking Jake's glass chamber. Soldiers open fire, but Ian uses his machine to shield Jake. Spider runs toward them. Ian guides Jake to an escape route, warning him about the plan to kill the Telkins in 2 days. As they flee, a missile is fired at them. Spider stands in front of it, forcing the officials to abort the shot. Jake and Spider run while Quaritch moves towards Spider's location. As the officer prepares to fire, Nati arrives just in time, shooting the craft and rescuing both Spider and Jake. They flee the city on their Icaron. Jake orders them to land. While Spider washes up nearby, Jake tells Nati that she was right. Quaritch will never stop hunting Spider. He believes the humans will study Spider to learn how to breathe and live on Pandora, eventually destroying it just as they did Earth. He takes Nati's knife, believing this is the only way to save the planet. He calls Spider and leads him into the deep bushes. Natiri, realizing what he intends to do, protests, but Jake forces Spider to his knees and begins a prayer to Awa. Spider begs him to stop. Jake hesitates, unable to bring himself to kill the boy. Natiri rushes forward, unable to bear it either. Jake, relieved, declares they will find another way. To find that solution, Jake enters a cave and seeks out the legendary predator, Tarek. He successfully bonds with the beast. He flies to the Medina village where Tanawari and his people bow in reverence. Jake orders Tanawari to signal all clans that the day of battle has come. As Tarek Makto, Jake unites the clans against their common enemy, regaining the trust of the people. However, they know they need the token to fight. The elders allow them to speak. Loach reveals Payakan's tragic history and introduces Payakan's sister, who survived an attack by the Sky People. She shares her memories, revealing that the rest of their clan was slaughtered and she is the sole survivor. She urges them to fight as Payakan does. The elders leave to deliberate. The commander grounds Quaritch, forbidding him from joining the mission. Kiri meets with Ronal, hinting at a destiny she must fulfill. Jake gives Loach the responsibility of watching over his family and his brother's spirit when he is gone. Thousands of RDA ships march to hunt the tokens. On the other side, Tarek Makto and the United Clans prepare for war. Mick Scoresby and the Whaling Fleet approach with vast numbers of submarines and boats. As they draw near, Mick notices there are no females present. Suddenly, a warning is issued. A massive pod of tokens arrives, led by the matriarch. They dive deep and then surge upward, smashing into the ships with incredible speed. The tokens destroy the ships one by one. The Nausix clans attack from the air and water. Tarek Makto decimates ships single-handedly. Tanawari and Payakan dominate the underwater battle while Ronal fights fiercely with her spear. Jake and Natiri take down flying gunships. The tide turns when Verani and her Ash people arrive alongside Quaritch, who has disobeyed orders. They unleash a barrage of gunfire and firebombs. The skies fill with fire and the Ash people begin to overpower the Nausix. Seeing the devastation, Kiri decides she must go to the Great Mother. She leaves with Spider, leaving Took behind. Lochak and Payakan try to defend Kiri's path, taking down Sky People with the help of Syria and her brother. Kiri connects to the spirit tree but is violently pushed back and suffers seizures. Spider connects to her, grounding her and helps her move through the roots deep underwater. 2K arrives to help them move forward. Above, Naughty engages in a brutal duel with Varen. As Kiri reaches the Great Mother, she begs for help to save her dying people. Suddenly, a bomb hits the area. The connection is severed and the spirit tree sinks. Naughty is hit by a fireball from Varen. Underwater, Ronal is shot and a missile hits Payakan, who appears to be killed. Quaritch commands his troops to focus fire on Jake. A bomb blast knocks Jake and Tarek into the water. Spider manages to save Tuck, but Kiri remains submerged. The injured heroes gather on the shore on the verge of defeat. Rona reveals she is dying, but is about to give birth. Locke saves the injured Jake. Spider dives back in and confirms Kiri is alive and breathing underwater. With Naughty's help, Ronal gives birth to a baby girl. With her dying breath, Ronal asks Naughty to protect the child, then passes away. Jake praises Locke for his bravery and bringing the Tulkans to the fight. Suddenly, Quaritch and Vang arrive. They have captured 2K. Quaritch contacts Jake via comms, demanding he bring Spider in exchange for his family. Jake tells Loach he needs him to be his wingman. Mick Scoresby and his fleet prepare to harvest Amrita using sound beams to deafen and torture the tokens. Hundreds of ships surround the whales. Just as they are about to fire, the spirit tree illuminates. Awa has heard Kiri's prayer. Hundreds of Elu surround the ships. Kiri orders them to kill the Sky People. The sea creatures attack, destroying boats and dragging soldiers into the depths. Tarek regains his strength and lets out a call, summoning hundreds of wilds to attack the Ash People. Tarek destroys a massive ship. The toll gun that Mick Scoresby previously blinded attacks Mick's boat, dragging him into the water to his death. The commander orders all ships to be abandoned. Jake and Loach board the flagship to save Neeti and 2K. Spider and Kiri follow. Jake sees Varen and Quaritch on the deck and orders Loach to provide cover fire. Spider radios Quaritch, begging him not to kill anyone, saying he is coming. Spider walks slowly towards Quaritch, who promises they can go home. But as they prepare to leave, Jake attacks the Ash soldiers. Locke covers him, killing the guards around Varong. Verani attacks Natiri and is about to kill her. When Kiri arrives, Kiri uses her Q or tail to control Vang. Verani flees. Quaritch grabs Spider and takes off on a Necron. Jake mounts Tarek and pursues them. Jake dives and attacks Quaritch midair. Spider jumps from Quaritch's mount to Jake's mount. Quaritch is knocked down. All metallic objects suddenly begin to be pulled towards a highly magnetic portal or anomaly, destroying the surrounding machinery. Jake falls, injured. Quaritch approaches to finish him off, but Spider intervenes, shooting an arrow into Quaritch's arm. A brutal fight ensues between Jake and Quick on floating rocks. Spider tries to reload his bow, but is knocked down. He slips and falls, but Quaritch jumps and catches his hand, holding onto a route with the other. Jake reaches down to help. Jake pulls up the route, hauling both of them to safety. For a moment, there is an awkward silence between the enemies. Nutri-Eye, Loach, and Kiri arrive. Jake signals them to stop. Quaritch, clinging to his own twisted sense of honor and self-respect, looks at them, then lets go. Spider is left saddened by his death. The Sully family embraces, reunited and safe. Later, the clans gather to connect with a great mother. Tanawari connects his newborn daughter to Awa. Payakan is revealed to be alive. His voice is heard and he is fully accepted back into the clan. Spider connects to the spirit tree with Kiri. He sees the Great Mother and is accepted by the Na6 people as one of their own. In the vision, he sees Natum and Grace, Kir's mother. Kiri tells him that Natum's spirit is with Awa forever. Everyone sees the loved ones they lost in the war and finds peace. The clans are united as one.